And now we move to the third exercise, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use this image, in order to create this result. We're gonna create this poster with the car right here. We're gonna add a text on top of this mountain. It looks like it's sitting on the mountain, and we're gonna add a 3D text, 3D text Jeep, and we're gonna hide it behind this mountain and these trees. We go to Photoshop. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna bring the car, drag and drop just like that, increase the size, put it in this position, and click commit. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna apply a modification on the brightness of the car, because as you can see, the sky is cloudy and this image is not very bright, but this car was clearly photographed in a very sunny and bright environment, so we need an adjustment layer, brightness and contrast. Press Alt, put the cursor here, and then click. Now you see there's an arrow, which means the adjustment layer is only applied to the layer beneath it, which means the car. Now we can modify, we can decrease the brightness, we can increase the brightness. We're gonna set it to -50, from 0 to -50, and now you can see the difference. It looks much more realistic. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add the text on top of this mountain. To do that, we have to zoom, go to pen tool, and draw a path just like this. We can modify it, control and modify it. It needs to follow the same shape of the mountain. And then click on text, put the cursor right here, and now you see the cursor, the shape of the cursor has changed. We click, we need to reduce the size to, let's say, 72. We put the cursor and click. Now we can add a text. As you can see, we click on control, we click on this point, and we can modify the text on top of this line using this point, control and click on this point. Now we're gonna modify the text, live the experience. I'm gonna increase the size from 72 to 120. I think this looks good. We can always move the text on this line, and then click on commit. Now we have the text. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna add the 3D text Jeep. Gonna add a text just like that, write Jeep, and I'm gonna increase the size from 120 to 700. I think this is big enough. And we don't click on commit, we have to click on this button, the 3D button. Click create 3D from text, switch to 3D workspace, yes. Now there's a new workspace, and you can see we have a 3D object. There are a lot of modifications we can apply to our 3D object, but we're not gonna do much. We're just gonna rotate it a little bit using the mouse, just like this, and then click on render, this button, render. We wait for some time for the rendering. It might take a few minutes. Once you're finished, Once the rendering is finished, we can go back to the other workspace, the Essentials workspace, the initial one. Right click on the 3D object and then click on Rasterize 3D. Now it's an ordinary layer. We can move it, put it right here. We're gonna go back to the background layer, the picture of the mountains. Make a selection just like this. I'm gonna click on Unsee to hide the 3D object, the Jeep text. Click on Select and Mask. With the Refine Edge tool, I'm gonna improve the selection just like this. And click on OK. We make the Jeep appear again. I'm gonna deselect, select, deselect, click on the Jeep, create a mask, select again, and click on reselect. Now we have the selection again. Edit, fill with black, OK. And now this part is hidden and it looks like the word Jeep, the 3D object Jeep, is hidden behind this mountain, behind these trees. The exercise now is finished. You go do the same and don't forget to save.